They're all frustrating somehow or another. These turnovers, they've got to stop. Close quote. Joy, let me come to you first. Last show of the year, super excited. Your nails look great, by the way.
Thank you.
They do, in fact, look great. We will get a close-up of those later.
We all turned up a little bit.
We look like we're going to a party after this.
We did.
Great.
And maybe
a little Gatsby vibe today.
Maybe we will. The show will be great. Joy, how concerning are Dak Prescott's turnovers?
I tried, Cowboys fans. All right, Dallas. I gave it a good college try. I was like, I'm not going to care about this game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with this playoff standings. If they play bad, if they play terrible, it's not going to matter. And then I watched the game, and I was like, I didn't actually think that was going to happen. I was just kind of throwing it out there. Just take a deep breath, Cowboys fans. It's all good. Stop turning the ball over. Stop turning the ball over. What are we doing? I want to get on board.
You can.
I don't actually.
You can if you want to.
I don't want to get on board. I actually sent on the group chat a video of me sounding ridiculous last year. You watched it. Mm-hmm. I was yelling at Emmanuel about how far the Cowboys were going to go and how nothing that was going on in the regular season mattered for the Dallas postseason.
It stings, doesn't it? It hurts.
Yeah, it was. I said, look at this dummy, is what I said. So that's why I'm not going to be that dummy this year. But come on. One of those interceptions wasn't on Dak.
Of course
we can
not.
agree.
Yes.
We can all agree that one.
Yes.
Hender shot.
We all agree what?
Yes.
One wasn't on Dak.
Hot potato
LeSean,
with
yes.
the ball. You take it.
Y'all show me that stat and I'll believe it.
I watched it, and Dak
Watched
put
it with
here,
my eyeballs,
and he was
Shady.
like,
The eye test.
I don't want this ball. You.
Pick. Right there, pick. There's another pick right there.
Look, you can't turn the ball over this much. It's not going to work in the postseason against a good team. Tennessee had no one out there. Okay, it was just, there's no reason that it should have went that way. Now, look, they still covered, so in the end, they recovered.
Yep.
So I guess you can take some solace in that. But I don't genuinely know how, if you're a Cowboys fan, other than the fact that you won and covered, that you feel good about the rate that they're turning the ball over.
Dave Helman, how concerning, again, you've covered the Cowboys for 10 years. In case this is your first show on our last show of the year, Dave Helman, 10 years with the Dallas Cowboys, be with them before they even moved to Frisco. Dave, how concerning are these Dak Prescott turnovers?
No. We said it yesterday. Words matter.
They do.
How concerning are these Cowboys turnovers? Because they're not all on Dak. Do we have the tweet? I got it in my notes.
Oh, he got
me. Do we
me.
have the tweet from Emmanuel Acho? I don't know. I didn't give him any notice, but in case you didn't see it, Emmanuel Acho. Okay, y'all got me. That interception was not Dak's fault.
I agree, that one.
The fumbled snap was not Dak's fault.
How can you say that?
The pick in Jacksonville to Noah Brown was not Dak's fault. Another one to CeeDee Lamb, bobbled up in the air. Like, it happens every week. And, I mean, it's comical at this point, right? It happens every week. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to deny facts. Like, they've turned the ball over 12 times since Thanksgiving. That's 6 games. They're averaging 2 a game. I looked this up. Over the last 3 years in the playoffs, teams that have lost the turnover battle are 5-16. Eesh. It is a huge indicator of success. It's terribly, terribly concerning. Now, this is the fun part about the Cowboys, though. They've been doing this since Dak came back, right?
True.
They're 8-2, and they're winning those games by an average of 2 touchdowns. Like, for as bad as it is, it really only bit them one time. Because even in Green Bay, when Dak threw 2 picks, those both happened in the first half.
Yes, sir. They
played clean football all the way through the second half and overtime.
True.
So it's bitten them one time. Like, I don't know what to make of it. It's concerning because I know that turnover differential is the easiest way to determine who wins and who loses a football game. But it hasn't really stopped them yet. So I don't know what to. I keep saying it's got to stop, and it keeps not stopping, and they keep winning. So I don't know what to do. But I will just remind you, it's not all Dak Prescott's fault.
2 weeks ago, you said that Dak Prescott was ass.
Bleep, bleep.
Ass.
I can't.
I'm quoting you. Again, I don't curse.
Don't say bleep, bleep.
Okay, you said it was bleep, bleep?
There you go.
Last week, you retracted that statement. You said after watching Dak Prescott play 349 yards against the Eagles, 42 rushing yards against the Eagles, he is no longer bleep.
No. Say played well that game. Yeah, season highs in passing yards and rushing yards.
Okay.
Played well that game. Yeah.
Where do you stand on Dak now? How concerning are the turnovers?
The turnovers? Oh, my God. I mean.
Turnover.
The turnovers.
With an R.
You can't win like that. And I get what you're saying. Like, right now they're winning games. That's cool. But in the playoffs, it's a different story. I've never seen so many people, like, defend the turnovers. Like, Dak Prescott hasn't even played a full season, and he's tied for the most turnovers or picks in the league.
Who's he tied with? I believe it's
Derek Carr. You see where he's sitting at?
Oh,
He should be sitting with us.
not good.
You want to compare the records of those two teams?
Hold on. So real quick. So the real issue is, I'm very concerned. The real issue is this. When you go to the playoffs against really good teams, not with like backup quarterbacks playing, like, star quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, when he's there, teams like the Vikings, the Eagles, the Niners, check this stat out. The Eagles, the Niners, and the Vikings are 25-0 this year when the team wins the turnover battle, right? So it's cool to play against the Titans. They got starters and third stringers, like preseason / a real game. That's cool you win games like that. But in the real game, when you're playing the Niners, right, you give them turnovers, they're going to go down there and score, right? Eagles, you got lucky. You got 4 turnovers from us with our backup quarterback playing. It's going to be a whole different story. And then
Will it be?
The last thing is this. What happens when you do that on the road against them type of teams? Think about that. Because a lot of times when you talk about the Eagles, that was against the Cowboys at home. Now you're on the road. We're talking about always getting the advantage.
Yeah.
Picking up the advantages, big advantage for us if you keep turning the ball over like that.
Dave, let me side with you to a degree. I'm going to side with you.
I know you want to.
I
you
do.
have
I do,
all
but
year.
I don't know how
can you?
I'm not worried about the turnovers because the turnovers are the outcome. I'm worried about the process. Today's point, some of those turnovers aren't all on Dak. You can go back to the Jacksonville game one. That's dependent. That was on Noah Brown, hit him in the chest. Last night, the ball to Hendershot. It's not on Dak. But the process worries me. However, it's not to me about the outcome. It's about the process. It's about Dak Prescott not being able to make a simple out route to Dalton Schultz, who he's most comfortable with. Dalton Schultz, I believe, had the most targets on last year's team, if I'm not mistaken. So that is what I'm more concerned about than the turnovers. I'm worried about the process, big dog.
As long as I'm putting your tweets and your texts on blast, like what happened about 45 minutes later? Similar route to the same player, put a dot right on Dalton Schultz's hands in the corner of the end zone. Like, he can do this stuff. And to be fair and clear, Dak has thrown interceptions this season that were all on him, like probably 6 of them if I had to guess. But that is a normal number of interceptions for a guy who throws as much as Dak does, who's willing to try stuff as much as Dak does. That's what I say when I say I can live with things like that. It's not to excuse it, but you're going to throw half a dozen of those a year. That type of stuff happens.
Let's get to the chase. This is a more important conversation. Can the Cowboys win the playoffs with Dak playing like that then, Dave? Can they actually win in the playoffs with these kind of turnovers?
I hate to be on this side of the argument because, as Joy and I point out all the time, history suggests that they won't because they haven't in a long time. But yes, I think this team can do it because it hasn't stopped them all year. And you can say, like, oh, what about when you go up against good teams? They're 5-1 against teams with a winning record this year. That includes Minnesota, who they beat down. That includes Philly, who they beat, albeit with a backup quarterback. That includes both of 2 of the 3 wildcard teams right now. New York and Washington beat them pretty convincingly. So, yes, I think they can win this way playing this type of football because they keep doing it. Like, that's the crazy thing. It's so weird. Ball security is like from Pee-wee level, right? It's the ball, the ball, the ball. Everybody says it at every level of football, and the Cowboys keep not doing it, and it keeps not mattering. Again, they're still first in the league in third down conversion rate, 57% over their last 3 games. They're scoring 35 points a game. Only one team has held them below 27 points since Dak came back. So they're winning and winning convincingly most of the time playing this way. I don't recommend they keep trying this in the playoffs, but the body of work says that they can.
Joy, where do you stand on that? Can the Cowboys?
I'm with you, Shay. I never heard this many excuses.
It's okay to throw pixie sounds like.
Even if it's not all Dak's fault. Let's say it's not all Dak's fault, which I don't believe it is all Dak's fault.
Thank you.
There were multiple turnovers.
There were.
It wasn't just one that was on the.
There was one on the quarterback. There was one that was the quarterback.
That still counts.
They do count. They all count.
That one counts. Even if it's not all Dak's fault, which I don't believe it is, how do y'all feel comfortable with this?
Oh, I don't.
Who's comfortable with turning the ball over this much? Are they playing for a regular season? Is there some sort of like regular season banner that they're playing for that they're trying to? I mean, I know Dallas Cowboys love to have a great regular season. So is that what this is about? Another great regular season?
I wish I knew.
Because all of these turnovers are amounting to a great regular season, which is not what the Dallas Cowboys are aiming for. If you want a silver lining, Matthew Stafford led the league in interceptions last year and went on to win the Super Bowl.
He did.
But here's the problem I have with the Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys defense generates turnovers on that side of the ball. So maybe that neutralizes the amount of turnovers that the Dallas Cowboys offense as a whole, if we don't feel comfortable saying it's Dak's fault, generates. So maybe they just neutralize each other. Here's my problem with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have everything they need to win a Super Bowl. They have a competent quarterback. They have weapons. Maybe you'd want a few more, but they have enough. They have a good enough offensive line. They have an excellent defense. They have a Super Bowl winning coach. They have coaches on the staff that have coached in the Super Bowl. There's no real excuse here for why the Cowboys should not have just as good of a chance as anyone else who's in the playoffs to win a Super Bowl. Is that safe to say?
It's going to get dicey if they don't make some noise in the playoffs, yes.
They should have no excuses this year.
Right.
This should be the year for the Dallas Cowboys. Really. Unless you just like making up excuses, there's really nothing that you can point to. They're not dealing with a major injury right now. Oh, I forgot the running game. How can I forget the running game? And they have a solid running game. My bad. One more thing why the Dallas Cowboys should be playing in a Super Bowl this year. Right? Yeah. I don't want to. Where's the excuse machine is shut down.
Can we settle for NFC title game? Super Bowl feels like a lot.
No, because I got to hear it every single day about how ridiculous we sound questioning whether the Cowboys are capable or not. And the turnovers don't mean anything. Here's the question. The Cowboys have everything that you need, right, to get to a Super Bowl, possibly even win a Super Bowl, if they can stay out of their own way. And that's like the Cowboys' motto. Like when you run out into the stadium, they got like a little sign you hit as you run out. It's like, get in your own way. Get in your own way. That's what they hit when they run out onto the field. That's what's on Jerry's desk. Not the buck stops here. It's I get in the way. That's what the Cowboys' whole deal is. Patriots, like the Patriots way, do your job. Cowboys' way is get in the way. So if you are, I'm supposed to take the Cowboys seriously. When the one thing that the Cowboys have to not do this year, they have everything they need, is not get in their own way. Make me believe it, Dave. That's impossible.
Look, I'm with you.
I don't think you are.
I am. I don't feel comfortable about anything about this team other than that at the end of the day, they keep winning games. What do you want me to do?
But this is the regular season. That's not what they're aiming to do. And situational football is always the question with the Dallas Cowboys.
It is fascinating, though, to me, 2-5. As comfortable as Dave Helman, this man on the far left, feels about Dak Prescott, that he would not feel comfortable about the Cowboys.
Yes.
Because you feel very comfortable about the Eagles.
Yeah, I do.
But you feel very comfortable about Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. Usually your level of comfort in the quarterback dictates your level of comfort in the team. So it is just very fascinating.
Let Jalen Hurts throw a few open posts that clang off his receivers' hands for picks and see how shaky he is about that.
That happened before.
Against the Washington Commanders,
A.J.
Brown did catch the ball with both hands.
And then let's have it happen for a few more weeks and a few more weeks.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.